Do you know why the moment you finally start doing things right, your brain suddenly panics? Why discipline feels exciting at first, then uncomfortable? Why consistency feels good until it feels dangerous? Why just when you stop sabotaging yourself, something inside you whispers, "This won't last." That reaction isn't weakness, it isn't bad habits, it isn't lack of confidence. It's your brain trying to protect you. And once you see this, you'll never fight yourself the same way again. Let me paint a familiar picture. You finally slow down. You stop overtrading. You wait for cleaner setups. You follow your rules. And for a moment, things work. Your mind feels calmer. Your decisions feel clearer. Your results start to stabilize. Then suddenly, you feel restless. You feel bored. You feel uneasy. You get the urge to do something, anything. You break a rule, you rush a trade, you second-guess a good position. And later, you sit there wondering, why do I always do this right when things start improving? This video is about that moment. The moment your brain panics when you start becoming consistent. And it has nothing to do with trading skill. It has everything to do with identity, safety, and how your nervous system works. Let's break it down. Number 1, your brain is addicted to familiarity, not success. Your brain doesn't care about profits. It doesn't care about growth. It doesn't care about potential. It cares about familiarity. Whatever you've repeated long enough becomes normal, even if it hurts you. Overtrading, revenge trading, inconsistency, self-doubt. If you've lived in those patterns for years, your brain recognizes them as home. So when you start trading calmly, when you start waiting, when you stop forcing results, that feels unfamiliar, and unfamiliar feels unsafe, even if it's better. That's the first shock. You think discipline should feel comfortable, but at first it feels like standing on ice that hasn't frozen yet. Your brain goes, "Hey, this isn't what we usually do," and it reacts, not with logic, with emotion, anxiety, restlessness, urgency. That panic isn't telling you you're wrong, it's telling you you're new. Think about this. If chaos has been your baseline, peace feels suspicious. If intensity has been your normal, calm feels empty. Your nervous system learned to operate in stress. It learned to stay alert. It learned to expect danger. So when danger disappears, your brain looks for it. That's why you get the urge to sabotage right when things improve. Not because you want to fail, but because your brain wants to return to what it knows. Number 2, consistency threatens your identity. This one hits deeper. Most traders don't just trade a system, they trade an identity. I'm impulsive, I'm emotional, I'm inconsistent but intuitive, I struggle with discipline. Those stories become part of who you think you are. And here's the uncomfortable truth. When you start doing things right, you threaten that identity. If you're no longer the trader who always messes up, who are you? If you're no longer struggling, what does that say about the past? If you're capable of consistency now, why weren't you before? Those questions feel dangerous to the ego, so the brain panics. It's not afraid of failure, it's afraid of change, because change means redefining yourself, and identity shifts feel like death to the nervous system. You might notice this pattern. The moment you say, "Maybe I can actually do this," your mind responds with doubt. What if this is luck? What if I lose it all next week? What if I'm not really disciplined? That's not self-sabotage. That's identity resistance. Your brain is testing whether this new version of you is real or just a temporary phase. Number 3, consistency removes your emotional excuses. This one is subtle. When you're struggling, you have explanations. The market is tough. I just need more screen time. I'll fix my discipline later. Struggle gives you emotional cover. But when you start doing well, those excuses disappear. If you're treating calmly and still making mistakes, there's nowhere to hide. Now it's on you. And that pressure triggers panic because success removes the story that protects your ego. Now results reflect your behavior directly. That feels exposed. So your brain looks for a way out. It creates urgency. It creates impatience. It creates the need to interfere. Anything to return to a state where the outcome isn't fully your responsibility. Notice how strange this sounds. You don't fear losing money, you fear owning your results, because ownership means accountability, and accountability feels heavy when you're not used to it. Number 4, calm feels like boredom to a stressed brain. This is huge for traders. If your nervous system is used to adrenaline, calm feels empty. You're not addicted to trading, you're addicted to stimulation. Fast entries, constant charts, quick decisions, those keep your brain engaged. So when you slow down, when you wait, when you let trades develop, your brain gets bored. And boredom feels like danger to a stressed nervous system. It says, something's wrong, we should be doing more. That's why discipline feels uncomfortable at first, not because it's hard, but because it's quiet. And quiet exposes what you've been avoiding, your thoughts, your emotions, your impatience. So the brain panics. Number 5, improvement triggers fear of loss. Here's the irony. The better you get, the more you feel you have to lose. When nothing works, losses feel expected. But when things start clicking, every trade feels heavier. What if I ruin this streak? What if I go back to old habits? What if this doesn't last? That fear tightens you, and tension kills execution. So your brain tries to release the pressure by sabotaging. A loss feels safer than uncertainty because at least loss is familiar. Let that sink in. Sometimes you don't sabotage because you hate losing. You sabotage because you're afraid of keeping success. Now, here's the shift that changes everything. That panic you feel isn't a signal to stop. It's a signal that your brain is recalibrating. You're leaving survival mode, and survival mode hates transitions. So what do you do when that panic shows up? You don't fight it. You don't analyze it. You don't try to eliminate it. You normalize it. You say, of course this feels uncomfortable. I'm doing something new. You let the discomfort exist without obeying it. That's emotional maturity. That's trading psychology. Here's the reframe. Discomfort doesn't mean you're off track. It means you're early. Calm doesn't mean you're missing opportunities. It means you're respecting them. Boredom doesn't mean something is wrong. It means you're no longer feeding impulsive patterns. Consistency isn't loud, isn't exciting, it doesn't feel like breakthroughs. It feels subtle, quiet, almost underwhelming. And that's why most people quit right before it locks in. Let me ask you something. What if the panic you feel isn't a warning? What if it's confirmation? Confirmation that you're finally stepping out of old conditioning, that you're no longer letting emotion run the show, that your brain is adjusting to a higher standard. Here's the truth nobody tells traders. The hardest part isn't learning strategy, it's learning to tolerate stability, because stability forces you to confront yourself. No chaos, no excuses, no emotional noise, just behavior and outcome. So, next time you feel that urge to interfere, to rush, to break a rule right when things feel good, pause and remember this. Your brain isn't trying to sabotage you. It's trying to keep you safe using outdated information. Your job isn't to argue with it. Your job is to lead it. Progress doesn't feel like relief at first. It feels like unfamiliar territory, and that's okay. Stay there. Let your nervous system catch up. That's how discipline becomes natural. That's how consistency stops feeling forced. That's how profitable trading stops feeling fragile. If this hits something you felt but couldn't explain, you're not alone, and you're not broken. You're evolving. Stay patient with that process. If this helped you see yourself more clearly, you know what to do. And remember, the panic fades, the habits stick, if you let them. See you in the next one.